everybody, it's Alexa here, and as y'all voted for my 200 subscriber special, it will be this full season 2 Disventure Camp review. Thank you all so much again for the support being shown on this channel. I genuinely appreciate so much, and I cannot believe how far I've gotten in such a short amount of time. Anyways, before we begin, a few things that need to be noted. There are huge spoilers for Season 2. I will be going into basically everything regarding Season 2 of Disventure Camp, so if you have not seen this season, I highly recommend you check that out before you watch this video, because you're just gonna get spoiled on everything. Unpopular opinions. I have unpopular opinions about this series, many, so I'm just warning y'all in advance, in case you do not want that. Anyway, note in the background you will see Season 2 Episode 1 and Season 2 Episode 2 playing. And note that none of this is hate towards On-Nation Cartoons. On-Nation Cartoons is created in incredible season/series within Disventure Camp, and again, this is just my own personal opinions and thoughts on it. Alrighty, so the format for this season review will be the following. Characters, basically I'll go into somewhat depth for each character of the season. It'll also include arcs, dynamics, things like that. Positives, I think this is self-explanatory. It's basically all the positives, good things about the season, negatives. Another self-explanatory, main negatives of the season. Overall thoughts. Basically summarizing my thoughts on the season, comparing a few things, maybe fixing up the season a bit, etc. Conclusion, and that's just me wrapping up the video overall. Alrighty, with no more distractions and nothing more really needed to say, let's get into the first section of the video, which is, of course, characters.
I have a complaint. The other team has an advantage.
Advantage in what?
They have an ogre. It's obvious that they are going to win all of the strength challenges.
When it comes to the overall cast, or characters as you want to put it, of Disventure Camp Season 2, I think it's okay. I don't hate any of the characters, which again is a huge positive, but also, for most of them, I'm just very, mediocre to them. I mean, I do like a few characters from the season. You'll learn who soon. But otherwise, I barely feel anything. Is that better than not hating them? I don't know. I'm just kind of mixed on that. But anyway, I'm going to be going in elimination order for this, which is starting with the first boot of the season, which for this season 2 Disventure Camp, Oliver. When I first saw Oliver, I didn't care about him in the slightest, although I still don't understand that tree situation in episode 1. Maybe one day I'll understand. Anyway, I was happy to learn that they were giving an interact to him. I'm going to do a quick comparison with Dakota here. I originally did not give a care for Dakota either as a character, but after her arc with the intern/Sam arc, I really liked her, and she should not have turned into a mutant. But that's basically what happened with Oliver. Before, again, I didn't care, but afterwards, I liked him. So the intern arc was cool to see, although I am a little sad he took a bit of screen time from Nina. Nina is the best host-related character in all of Disventure Camp, and I cannot be convinced otherwise. But he was cool, and again, loved the intern arc, and his dynamic with Crystal was pretty wholesome. And he's gonna be the host for the next season. That's what the ending of Season 2 at least implied, so I'm ready, prepared for it, and I'll probably like Oliver a bit more afterwards. Carol. When I think of Disventure Camp Season 2, the first thing that comes to mind is missed potential. When it comes to a lot of arcs, characters themselves, the execution, etc., etc. But when I think of Carol, it just feels like misused potential instead. First off, when I first saw her, I legit thought she'd be first boot because she was basically a Karen. "Where is your manager?" is literally one of her lines. I was convinced. But it shocked me when Oliver was eliminated instead, and then she stayed. When I learned about her animal bonds and started seeing more of her soft side in episode 2, I kind of went up to her. I started liking her. But then James was an idiot, more on this later, and she goes home. I was sad, thinking her potential was going to be missed completely, and she'd go down in history in Season 2 as the character that had the most missed potential. But then she returned in episode 8. I was floored, but happy she was returning, coming back, and she'd finally meet the potential she had when I was first watching it. But, as we all know, that didn't really happen. First off, she was so stupid in episode 8. We know she voted late because, again, one of the lines after the confessional is, "I voted the majority with this." So she could have voted off James, though. She had the chance. She hated James so much and easily could have eliminated him. But Lake? Why? And I get Lake's a threat, but if she hates James and Eden so much, it's like, it just makes no sense. Still, though, I looked past that and I just thought, it's one mistake, it's a road bump, but we'll get over this. Episode 9. I hate that episode with a burning passion. I hate it. It's horrible. But again, that is a completely different video, but it'll be mentioned in the negatives later, so yeah. But she lies to Rhea and manipulates her. Also, amazing new animal bond. Like, she helped the husky, was it a husky or a wolf? I'm forgetting right now, but she got it to pull the sled. It was so cute to see. But anyway, we saw her as a villain. It's kind of cool. Then Aiden kills the spider. Again, this is later in the next. And she gets medically evacuated? What? Look, I get she's rude and did manipulate Rhea, but still, she's justified, in my opinion, and how she's treated James and Aiden. Now that Aiden killed the spider and caused her to break her leg, and especially since James legit got her out of $1 million. Like, you're trying to tell me that she shouldn't be a little mad that someone got her out of $1 million? $1 million? And am I meant to side with James and Aiden and not think she was in the right at all, at least somewhat? It just ruined the potential she did have here. And also, her last words in the finale are 1000% true, and I refuse to believe otherwise. Kai, he's kind of like a rip-off, don't help. I don't really care about him, honestly. Also, am I meant to ship him and Maggie? Because I really don't care about them or the ship, so I don't have much to say. I just don't care about his existence. Sorry, Kai fans. Connor's really cool, honestly. I like this dynamic with Rhea, and no, I do not ship them. I'm sorry, but a 29-year age gap is kind of questionable to me, personally. Just again, that's personally. Anyway, I do wish we saw him more. Also, because he's a cool character, but also, I cannot get over the fact he's rich enough to just randomly buy hotels. Like, that scene, was it I think it was the beginning of episode 9. It's just really funny to me. Anyway, Maggie, she made me feel nothing. I have no opinion on her. I guess her dynamic with Blake and Rosa was sweet. Again, she's just like, I don't have anything to say about her. Yule is the biggest weasel, biggest piece of crap I have ever seen as an antagonist or otherwise. And that is why he is so fun to just hate / love in a sense. He is one of my favorites from the season overall. Not only did he make pre-merge of Disventure Camp so much better, his defeat was actual perfection. It's what got me to like the show, like get me into and start caring about the show, because it was just executed so well. And it's just the perfect defeat for Yule. It's perfection. Also, the voice actor did an incredible job with Yule. He makes him more of a piece of crap, and it is so fun to see. The jokes delivery is incredible. Like, I will never stop laughing at kiss these people I can barely shake their hands joke in episode 3. It's beautiful. It's amazing. He is everything, and I will never understand why he is so hated in this community. Like, and yes, this is one of the reasons I warned about unpopular opinions, because again, Yule is so hated and despised, and I'm never understanding that. And to me, he's easily one of the best parts of the season, one of the best characters, Tess. And it feels like she's Gwen, but she's not, if that makes any sense. First off, her dynamic with Allie, I love a lot better than Hunter's. I just feel like it's a lot more wholesome, and it's just sweet that these two in this love triangle, which more on the love triangle later. But anyways, the friendship she built and her overall dynamic with her being happy, being a better person. I was really happy for her, and her elimination was incredibly executed, which Disventure Camp did really well with some eliminations and just bad with others in my eyes. But again, that's my opinion. Just overall, she's a cool character. I never really cared about her much, though. I wish I did more, because she seems cool. I just never cared. Lake, best character of the season, hands down. When it comes to Lake, nothing is done wrong in my opinion. Her arc is literally absolute perfection. Her design, her personality, her everything. She was completely robbed, and she probably should have won the season. I know it would have been predictable, but it's still an incredible win. I would have loved to see it. And although James did deserve it 1000%, and he is a really good winner still. So, yeah, trying to keep my thoughts a bit bare on Lake here, because I'm making a character analysis on her, which will release after this video. So if you want to hear my full thoughts on Lake, you can check out that video when it releases. But anyways, Allie. Look, Allie might be kind of boring, and we literally know nothing about her, except, like, she likes gaming. And what was that random fact they said in episode 4? I'm forgetting. Anyway, she's cool. Also, to anyone questioning my opinions, I'm just gonna quickly say the love triangle. I pretty much hate all love triangles in media. I don't like seeing them. I'm just not a fan of it. I get it's drama, but, like, I don't like this one. I don't. It's not executed that well, in my opinion. Also, I like them more as friends. I really don't ship any of them. But if I had to choose a ship out of all of them, Hunter and Allie, because I loved them in the few episodes they got before it was just ruined. I love them, so again, I see them right now just a lot more as friends, but again, yeah. Also, like, no arc, no development for Allie. Like, she stayed till episode 9. She should have at least gotten some personality, some arc, something, you know what I mean? Rosa Maria, oh, she exists. Like, she's not bad, and I do love her, but she has no arc, no development, no nothing. And when you have the potential of her archetype, which is the teen mom, it feels wrong to have it wasted. And considering that she's made it to the final 5 with no arc, again, no development, it's an issue to me. She's just a support character to other people's arcs. Well, she could have her own while being that support. She could have had her own. And to anyone who's read the webtoon comments by Odd Nation Cartoons, one of them is about Rosa. I learned more in a 2 to 5 minute read of that comic than I ever did in the show. And she made it to episode 10. Episode 10. And I don't know, I just wish we had more development, learn more about her. This point can also go for Allie, Kai, Tess. The webtoon comic solved it for Tess, but I should not have to go to alternate sources to learn more about these characters. I should have to just watch the show and know enough about them, if you understand what I'm trying to point out. It's just... Again, I love Rosa, but it's hard for me to ignore these issues. Hunter. Plot armor. This man has the most plot armor I think I have ever seen. He has won literally every immunity, except once in the pre-merge when he didn't need it, and the one time he lost in merge, he got out. I can't even make this up. He's cool though, and I do like him, but like, dude, you know the 2 girls like you, and then just ignoring it, and then kissing Allie without her consent in that horrible episode as episode 9. Oh. Also, the fact he only lost immunity twice when he didn't even need it. Oh, I've already said this, of course. Anyway, Aiden. He is the biggest moron when it comes to voting. Oh, well, that's a perfect start to start Aiden's section. Anyway, I really like Aiden. He's cool. And for people questioning my opinions on Jaden, what hasn't been said about Jaden? Like, I don't think I can add any more. It's cute. Also, I do think it's a lot better than Jam from the new season, and I will not be convinced otherwise. Anyway, so I'm not going to focus on this anyway too much because it's pretty much all my opinions have already been said by other people. And it's like, I've got a lot more things to say instead of this. So we're moving on. But when it comes to voting, as I've already said, this dude has screwed up many times. And like, remember when in episode 8 he voted for Rhea? And I think in episode 7 he voted Allie? Oh my gosh. It's just that the rest of that discussion's for another time though. Overall, he's pretty cool. I got nothing much more to say though, but I liked him. I really liked Aiden, and he definitely felt like a protagonist of sorts, and he was a really good protagonist still. I don't have much to say. Rhea. I have an entire character analysis on Rhea. You can check it out using the iCard above. So I'm just going to summarize my thoughts here because I literally have the 17-minute video. That's where all my thoughts are. And I'm not fitting a 17-minute rant into this already very, very long video. So I'm very mixed on her. She's stupid and smart somehow at the same time. She needed more build-up. And I'm overall very mixed on her. Anyway, James, evil to good. And it's a perfect parallel to Rhea, actually. So it's cool like that. I love James. He just started off this evil piece of crap, and it's just the worst person. But after hanging out with Aiden, he became sweet. And I will never stop finding it funny that when James is being so nice to Aiden, like begging him for forgiveness, Aiden's like, no, I'm not gonna forgive you. But when he poisons someone, Aiden forgives him. Like, that is way too funny to me. His arc is done really well overall, and he's an enjoyable character to watch. Although plot armor came to save him a few times. Episode 8. He's an incredible winner, and his development again was really well done. Nina and Marcus. Nina is amazing. She deserved so much more. Marcus is alright. Crystal, I'm still so convinced that she is Chris McClain's daughter, even though they got sued and now it can't be canon. Can it? I don't know. Do you? Whatever. Anyway, I really liked Crystal's arc over the season. She kept Oliver to just keep herself in check, but she overall started becoming obsessed with ratings. Then she had a heart-to-heart with Lake, and then she changed again. And it's just so sweet how her arc was handled. I think it's one of the best, and also it's the fact that it didn't overshadow the contestants. I think that's also a great part, because her arc could have easily overshadowed all the contestants being all season long. but it didn't, and it just worked so well overall for Crystal, and just, yeah, it worked really well, and I'm happy with how they treated Crystal. And although I am sad we're not going to be seeing her host another season, I am excited again to see how Oliver does it, but I guess that's another time. Alright, that pretty much wraps up the characters. Honestly, again, it's a pretty good mediocre cast, a few issues here and there, but overall a really good cast and has a lot of potential again. Now we can move on to positives of the season.
I made a delicious pumpkin bread. I hope you enjoy it because it could be your last.
You're so funny, Zio.
This season overall has a few positives, and let's go over them each one by one. Number one, the animation. The animation in this season is really good. Like, if you told me this was total drama and I've never seen this, I would believe you 1000%, like, easily convinced. It's well done. The season 1 has just been, again, improving on it. It's a great art style. I like how unique it is, and the designs are really good, and I've heard their concept arts. Again, this is just what I've heard. Take it with a grain of salt. That's why I'm not focusing on it too much, because, again, I don't know if it's true. It's just what I've heard, as I've said. But overall, it's just great everything when it comes to the animation and art style. It's really well done. Potential. You can see the potential these characters possess, and as I've said earlier in this review, Disventure Camp Season 2 has a lot of missed potential with the arc stuff. Again, this could be an entirely different video, but overall, you can see the potential and how it can be utilized to its advantage. Number 3, strategies. I know this might be a weird one, but when it comes to like total drama, we barely get to see any alliances strategies. Like, it's all thrown out of the window. And as a fan of Survivor, Big Brother, shows like that, I love seeing strategies. Reasons behind voting, alliances, things like that. And with Disventure Camp Season 2 especially, you can see it all throughout the season. It's so cool to watch. And although not all of them are decent strategies, most of them are bad, it's still fun and entertaining to watch, and I love that aspect of Disventure Camp. It really adds something to the season and just makes it overall better for me. Number 4, characters. Some of them. Some characters, as I've mentioned, are really good. My main 4, as of the making of this video, are Yule, Lake, Aiden, and James. Just cool characters, and I don't really hate anyone, so I guess that's a bonus as I can say it again. Well, I think those are the main positives I can really cover right now. Again, there's a lot of minor positives, but I want to just focus on the main ones for now. And now we'll be talking about the negatives of the season, which they have decent amounts, so.
It got caught on camera, and since then, I've lost just a bit of support.
Accidentally?
As I've stated beforehand, there's a few really good positives about this season of Disventure Camp. However, there is still a lot of negatives, sadly. Which, again, this season isn't bad in the slightest. It's good, it's mediocre, whichever you prefer. Which, still though, we gotta go over the negatives. Number 1, plot armor and the votes not making sense. Look, I get it, you need to keep some characters to keep... For the story, you need to keep them in longer. However, you don't need the plot armor to be this obvious, or it can really ruin the experience, at least for me personally. Let me give you some of the major examples of plot armor this season that I noticed. Hunter winning immunity every merge round until eliminated. Look, it's funny, but it's still too much plot armor. James not getting eliminated in episode 8, aka Carol not voting James, which if she had her regular brain cells, would not have happened. Allie and Hunter winning immunity in episode 8 so we can have an excuse to vote off Icon Link. There's more examples, but these are the main ones for me personally. Again, plot armor is completely fine, and I understand it has to happen. But if it's easily avoidable, and if it's easily noticeable, it can really just ruin it for me. But yeah, just me personally on that. Now onto the votes not making a lick of sense sometimes. Let me go over some main examples of this in the season. Episode 7. Someone in the 5-person alliance voted Allie? Probably Aiden because of how stupid he can make his votes. But why wouldn't they all vote together? Oh. Episode 8. Aiden voting Rhea. Pre-merge episodes. Siding with the girls. Pre-merge episodes, I'm referring to Aiden here. Aiden siding with the girls and not forgiving James. I do understand it was emotionally charged, but he does realize that as soon as James is gone, he is done? Does he really think the girls are taking him over themselves? Again, it just makes no sense. And these are just some of the main examples to note. There are others. Again, I just want to focus on the main ones. Votes not making any sense can take you out of the experience. For me, again, this is me personally. Number 2, execution of arcs / missing important parts of arcs. When it comes to Disventure Camp Season 2, as I said, it offers a lot of potential overall. You can see the potential throughout. The main reason this potential isn't used is because the execution of the potential done here. Allow me to give you some arc examples that with a lot better execution could have easily been the star of the show arcs. Ria's villain arc. Learn my fixes and my character analysis on her. Fun fact. The love triangle. The Maggie's short arc. So I can actually care about her character, plus Maggie's relationship with Kai. So again, I can actually care about it. Again, it feels like the potential is so high, but the execution ruins it. A bad arc with a good execution can be a lot better, but a good arc with a bad execution can be a lot more destructive in my opinion. The execution is better than the actual arc itself. That's my opinion. Now, missing important parts of arcs. I think this implies mostly to the following arcs. I've stated needing better execution, which I think you get the execution by now. Ria's villain arc. It doesn't have enough build-up, which is why it doesn't hit as well, and from what I've seen, it's the main reason why people don't like the arc itself at all, because it doesn't have the build-up it needs to hit, which with a better execution of the build-up, boom, you have made this the best arc. Well, a better arc. I think I need to put it that way more. Hunter scene talking with Allie and Tess on the love triangle weakens that love triangle plot so badly. We don't see the most important part of this arc. We don't see the climax of this arc. And for why? You don't have the screen time? Just add it. I'm sure it won't take like 2 minutes to add it, and it'll just help the love triangle so much. Instead of saying, oh, it happened off screen, the climax of the arc needs to be shown on screen. Maggie, maybe a few more scenes of her becoming more than just scared and learning she's worth it, because really all she got to do as the ending to her arc is punch you in the face, so I don't know. Maggie and Kai's relationship. It's not enough scenes for me to care. Maybe a few more, and maybe a few more for me to see them more as close friends, because I just see Kai as the person who helped Maggie out. I don't see them as more, and they're implying that they are more, and that does not work when there's not enough build-up. I think build-up is a big issue in this Disventure Camp. I think that's what we're learning right now. Number 3, most of the cast being mediocre. For me, personally again, most of the cast is very mediocre. And although I don't hate anyone in this cast, I don't really have an opinion on most. Most of them are just mediocre to me. Most, again, are just alright characters to me. And remember, the cast is the most important part, arguably, of any type of show like this. You don't like the cast, you ain't gonna stick around to see what happens more. At the beginning of the season when I started watching, the only reason I stuck around was for 4 characters, Yule, Aiden, James, and Lake. Otherwise, I did not care about what happened. Again, this is my personal look on it. Maybe if the arcs were a little better executed. This is, again, just my personal opinion and view on the characters. There's a lot more minor negatives throughout the season that you could really nitpick about. But overall, I think these are the main ones I needed to really just address for this season review. And speaking of overall, let's just go onto my overall thoughts of the season. So, yeah.
I already cleaned the dining room and all the bathrooms! Please, don't fire me! I don't want to go back to my parents' house!
So my overall thoughts, the season, again, had a lot of potential, but missed the mark when it came to the overall execution and a few other things, as I already stated in the negatives. It's good, mediocre, if you would rather or want to call it that. I think the main question that might pop up after this is, compared to the other seasons of Total Drama, where would I personally think and what would I place this? For me, I think it's a bit worse than Total Drama, Revenge of the Island. Revenge, I'm so sorry on that. And it's a lot better than Total Drama Action for me, which for me places 5th out of 8, 5 out of 8. An overall score, using decimals, is 6.2. Again, potential high, some great positives, but the negatives definitely bring down the season a bit personally. And again, it's incredible that this is just a fan-made series. When I first saw it, I saw it as a lot more than that. A passion project, plus. Something that needs to be noted is how much of an improvement this was from their first outing, which was the BTA Adventure Camp season. And they keep improving with each season coming, and this was no exception. It's a cool season, and I have rewatched it way too much, giving the rating I've given it. LOL. Okay, it's on to the conclusion for now.
Boss broke down, so I decided to call the host. She says that you must follow the path along the road while running, and the last two to arrive will be eliminated.
So yeah, that's basically all of my major thoughts when it comes to season 2 of Disventure Camp. And I'd love to hear yours if you want in the comment section down below. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 200 subscriber special. For now, I'll see you next time. Alexa out.